Welcome to the Bite-Sized Brilliance podcast. I'm your host, April Darley, and today I'm going to talk about positive intentions, but in a weird way. Okay. So I am part of a different Facebook groups in my community just to learn my local community better and get a lot of referrals and recommendations, just see what businesses are out there. And yesterday I saw a Facebook post on one of these communities about someone was very upset that their hamburger had been burnt. So here's how it happened. This woman went through drive-through. I guess it was very busy in the drive-through and she waited a long time to get even to the order window, and she placed her order, got up to the window, and they asked her to pull up and wait. And there were already a few cars doing the same thing. So this woman refused to do that. And when she finally got her burger and I guess drove away or whatever she did with it, she took a photo when she opened it up and she had a burnt hamburger patty. And I think she said something about the bun, but it looked fine to me. But you could tell the hamburger patty was definitely burnt. And she was irate, super upset. And she said they did this to me on purpose because I refused to comply with their request because I had waited long enough. Now, you could say a lot of things about this post. You could say it's a Karen being a Karen. You could say it's a first world problem. You could say there's a sense of entitlement, but I want to focus on this little piece of it. And it was her belief. The story that she was telling herself was that they did it on purpose. Now, a lot of people in the comments chimed in and they were pointing out that obviously this restaurant was very busy. If there were other cars ahead of her and she had waited a long time to even place her order, and that other people, local people pointed out there are a lot of new people, new trainees at this location, that maybe it was an accident, that it wasn't done on purpose. But this woman could not be swayed from her story of, nope, it was about me. It was a personal attack. It was on purpose. So, years before I went to medical school, I was in corporate management and we had team building trainings all the time. And in one of those trainings, I'll never forget. I have forgotten who the trainer was and what the training was, but I have never forgotten the lesson of it. And it was assume positive intent when something happens and you don't know for sure what was going on in the other person's mind, what their motivations were. And it's a technique to help managers not jump to conclusions and not discipline their employees harshly or kind of get irate at their employees without knowing the full story. Basically, it's stop, take a breath, hear what their intentions were, hear why they did something, and then deal with the situation accordingly. But you want to get both sides of the story. You already know you're upset, but you don't know why the other person did or said what they did or didn't do or didn't say something for a particular reason. But this training was assume positive intent. Assume that the person wasn't out to hurt you, they weren't out to get you, they didn't mean to leave you hanging, that they had a reason, and you're going to sit down and you're going to listen to that reason. And that is a valuable little nugget of training. And think about how we don't do that in our lives. And we just jump to a story that's usually about our own triggers, our own trauma, our own pain. And we let that piece of the brain fill in the blanks with the worst possible scenario, that we are the victim. They did something wrong to us. It was their fault. It's nothing to do about me. I was a complete angel and they were completely in the wrong. So this woman just could not be swayed from seeing her point of view. She could not be swayed into compassion. And that's really what it's about. If you are wanting to evolve your soul, if you are wanting to stay emotionally balanced, then it is about how can you get to a place of understanding and compassion, even if something doesn't go your way, and even if someone else did do or say something that you didn't like, okay? So think about where we do this. If somebody doesn't text you back, then it might be, oh, they don't really like us or they don't care about our feelings. But what if you approach that with assume positive intent? Maybe they have something going on in their life. Maybe they just forgot to reply back. Maybe the text came in when they were multitasking and we just got lost in the shuffle. It's nothing to do with us personally. It was not a personal attack. It was just timing. Think about how much stress or anxiety or anger you might even save yourself if you just assumed positive intent and waited to get the full story before you created an emotional reaction in yourself. Wouldn't that be an interesting experiment? So, my challenge to you this week, my friends, is to do that experiment. If something initially gets you irritated or you feel triggered, just stop, take a breath, assume positive intent, and then ask for the other person's side of the story. Find out the why before you react. Okay? I'm sending you so much love and thanks for listening. I will see you next week. As always, if you love this podcast, please leave me a review, subscribe, follow, like, share with your friends, all the good things to help get the word out about this little piece of bite sized brilliance. Until next week, my friends, bye.